Hey guys, Jared here from Focus Group Florida, Keller Williams Realty. Focus Homes, your local custom home builder, and Focus Remodels when you love where you live and you want to make it better. All right, it's Tuesday. That means it's real estate roundup. Listing activity is up, pricing is down, and listings are flat. Let's talk about the details of what's going on in the real estate market for Lakeland and Polk County in Central Florida. In the last 7 days, the average home sold was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and that has stayed steady. The square footage went down slightly by 36 square feet to an average of 1,791 square feet under air. The average list price went down $16,000 to $330,000. The average sold price went down $13,000 to $322,000, and those two figures are a week-over-week number. Average days on the market went down by 3 days to 61 days. The average sold price compared to list price went up by 1 percentage point to 98%. And that means that the sales price was 98% of the list price at the time of the contract. What that doesn't take into account is if the house started at $450 and the final list price was at $400, and then that sold for another 2% less than that. It's compared to the $400, not the original price. It also doesn't account for any incentives that the seller pays for. For example, if there's closing costs, for example, we just helped a client purchase a home with $18,000 in closing cost assistance. That does not include that number, nor does it include if there's a new build and they include a small rate. I have a client under contract now at 4.875%. That costs the client zero money. But it doesn't show up in the data when it gets sold. So that's just something to keep in mind. The average list price went down by $6 per square foot to $186 per square foot. And the average sold price went down $5 per square foot to $182 per square foot. Now, we mentioned in the past that on a week-to-week basis, these numbers are quite volatile. So we don't pay too much attention for the wide swings. We just have a look if there's a pattern over time. And if you've been looking, you'll notice that pricing is basically plateaued. Some weeks we'll have a big gain and then a big loss, and big gain, big loss. But you'll see they're basically bubbling along on a plateau, not a lot of movement over time. All right, let's talk about the listings. For the listings, we had more activity in Lakeland this week. We had 14 more listings than last week at 105. We had 9 more listings sold and closed, 89 homes this past 7 days. And then the new pendings went up slightly by 2 to 97 new pendings. And these are all very healthy numbers. We need about 100 a week to stay where we need to stay. And so that's quite good. For Polk County, it was a slightly different story. The new listings went down by 1, very small number, to 433. However, the sold listings went down by 87 to 306. That was a pretty big jump downwards. And the new pendings went up by 16 to 428. So that's where we are with our listing activities for the past 7 days. All right, let's have a look at the listings that were removed from the market. That was actually flat this week. Last week we had 32 listings come off the market, and this week also 32 listings. We had 17 canceled listings, 3 withdrawn, and 12 expired listings. For the months of supplies, 6 months is equilibrium, equal buyers, equal sellers. We are at 4.27 months. That means we have 71% of the needed homes and a 29% shortage, which means we have more buyers than we have sellers, and that means we are in a seller's market. The active listings went up slightly by 10 to 1,134 this week, and the listings that had a price drop actually went down by 28 units to 145. In the county, we had a drop of 95 in the listings that had a price drop to 673. For the mortgage rate, it stayed basically the same. Last week it showed 6.9%, this week at 6.92%. All right, activities for the coming week include a Caribbean Street Fest. This is at the Lakeland Square Mall. So there'll be food, there'll be dancing and more. And then I was on Saturday, May 17th from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that sounds absolutely awesome. And if it's indoors, it's even better because it's starting to warm up out there. Also, we had a significant price decrease on one of our listings today, a savings of $30,000 to only $399, 900 in South Lakeland, right by George Jenkins. That will have an open house this coming Sunday, the 18th, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. with our favorite Mario. He will be there, so go have a look before it gets snatched up by somebody else. That's a great price for that area. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It's got a built-in mother-in-law suite, and it's in a cul-de-sac literally across the street from George Jenkins. It's right by the Watson Clinic, by all the grocery stores, the chemists, pharmacies, all the things right there, right at the corner of 540A and Lakeland Highlands Road. So it's absolutely fantastic location. All right, guys, when you have questions, please reach out to us. We're getting questions from people about the buying and selling process. Often people don't do this more than a few times in their lifetime. So it may have been a while for some of you, or if you're a first-time buyer, we help many of those people. There are many of those at the moment, so we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. If you love where you live and you want to make it better, then give us a call or text about remodeling options. We just had a fantastic Parade of Homes at 746 Mississippi Avenue. That home is now for sale for $899. So if you're interested in a larger home by Lake Morton in the Lake Morton Historic District, then definitely reach out to us. And if you're considering building on your land or doing a custom job, we'll help you design and build that as well. All right, this is Jared signing off, and we'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing week. Bye-bye for now.